It is genuinely painful, sometimes to the point of tears, to realize how easily love can collapse, not necessarily because of betrayal or bad intentions, but because we fail to master a skill that seems simple on the surface, yet is decisive in its consequences. A skill that, had it been planted in us during childhood, might have spared us countless losses and long years of confusion and regret. That skill is the ability to express our feelings and needs close to the moment we experience them, in a calm, balanced, and clear way, one that the other person can hear without feeling attacked or accused, and before our affections quietly harden into resentment that cannot be undone. Many relationships do not end abruptly, they wither slowly. They die because one person swallowed their words again and again, stayed silent when they should have spoken, endured when they should have explained, until they finally exploded far too late when all tenderness had already been drained away. If we are honest, we must admit that this difficulty with speaking is not entirely our fault. It is often the result of a deep educational absence. As children, very few of us were taught how to talk about our emotions without hurting others or being hurt ourselves. In a wiser and better organized world, schools would do more than transmit information. Alongside physics, history, and geography, we would attend regular classes in emotional communication. We would learn how to express fear without aggression, discomfort without accusation, and difference without guilt. And the very first lesson would begin with an essential conviction. Our needs are legitimate, and our feelings are not a mistake. There is nothing wrong with us for disliking certain foods, for feeling drained by particular activities, or for being unmoved by things others enjoy. These are not character flaws or moral failures. They are simply expressions of who we are. The problem is not difference. It is silence about difference. At the same time, it is neither fair nor kind to leave others completely unaware of what we feel, only to surprise them later with outbursts of anger, harsh accusations, or sudden withdrawal, and then blame them for not understanding us when we never truly opened our inner world to them. Yes, others have a responsibility to listen, but we have an equal responsibility to speak. A relationship is a shared task. It cannot rest on one person's intuition alone. We must learn how to deliver difficult messages in ways that preserve dignity, reduce harm, and increase the possibility of understanding. In that imagined school, there might even be practical exercises, perhaps playful competitions designed to test our ability to communicate the most sensitive topics with maturity and grace. We would reward those who could combine honesty with kindness, truth with compassion in a single sentence. The scenarios might include questions such as, "You feel uneasy about your partner's religious beliefs. What do you say?" "You are uncomfortable with how close they are to a family member. How do you express that?" "They believe you love their cooking, but you don't. How do you tell the truth without cruelty?" To succeed in such challenges, we would learn the foundations of a healthy complaint. The first is reassurance. We begin by affirming care and respect, because the human mind does not listen well when it feels threatened. We might say, "I value you deeply, and what I'm about to say comes from wanting us to be well," or, "It matters to me that you know this isn't an attack, it's an attempt to be honest." Next comes claiming the right to speak with calm confidence, without excessive apology for having feelings at all. "There's something I need to share. This affects me more than it might appear. I know my view isn't common, but it's real for me." Then comes a crucial step, making room for disagreement. The other person does not need to change immediately, nor adopt our position entirely. They only need to acknowledge it and treat it with humanity. We might say, "It's okay if we don't agree. I understand that you see this differently. All I need is for you to understand where I'm coming from." If, after all this care, we are met with anger, ridicule, or blame, then, painful as it may be, we have gained something invaluable: clarity. We have discovered early that this person lacks the emotional space required for a healthy relationship. At that point, leaving is not failure or avoidance. It is an act of self-respect. We might quietly say, "It's been meaningful getting to know you, but continuing like this wouldn't be fair to either of us." All of this matters because so many relationships fail not out of hatred, but out of prolonged silence. There's a limit to how long anyone can suffer quietly. We cannot continue intimate experiences that make us uncomfortable without eventually losing desire altogether. We cannot keep joining activities that exhaust and overwhelm us without slowly turning affection into resentment. Problems must be addressed early, while there is still goodwill left, while tenderness has not yet been replaced by bitterness. We often believe that being difficult is the enemy of love, that a good partner should not ask for much, should not disrupt harmony. But with time, we come to see that the real enemy of love is the loss of one's voice. We are not required to be simple, normal, or aligned with every expectation. We are complex by nature, different in our rhythms, tastes, and needs. What we need is not self-erasure, but the courage and skill to invite the person we love into our inner world so they can see life through our eyes. What we need is a deep conviction that it is possible to be fully ourselves and still be loved, so long as we speak gently, clearly, and in time, and just as importantly, that we refuse to accept anything less than this from others or from ourselves.